Hi guys, it's Megan from Skinny Fitalicious. I'm popping by today to talk about calorie counting for weight loss. For those of you who don't know me, I am a certified health coach and nutritionist. 7 years ago, I lost 80 pounds by walking and eating right. But there's so many things that I wish that I had known before I started my weight loss journey. And after I did, I had several injuries and was diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease and became very sick after that diagnosis, and nobody could tell me what was wrong with me. So shortly after that, I left my job in corporate America as an IT consultant, a very successful IT consultant, and ended up going back to nutrition school and getting health coach certified so that I could sort of figure myself out. But we're not here to talk about me today. We're here to talk about how you should lose weight and whether or not you need calorie counting to do it. This is a common question I get asked from readers all the time. Do I need to count calories? I don't want to count calories. What's the deal with calories? What does it make a difference? Well, first of all, let's just talk about what does a calorie mean. A calorie represents the amount of energy in food. Our bodies need energy in order to do certain activities, to breathe, to live, to sleep, to eat, to digest, to think. We need energy. To do physical activity, we need energy. So food acts like fuel for that energy that our body requires. So when we say the word calorie, we're really referring to energy. Now, I'm going to say this, but I think that calories have kind of gotten a bad rap, and I really believe that's because there's so many people who have taken it to the opposite extreme of undercounting and undernourishing their bodies. So there's kind of this big wave of people who have said you shouldn't calorie count, you should just intuitively be eating. Okay, I'm going to get really real with you here, so forgive me. But intuitive eating sounds totally awesome, totally great, except it doesn't work for me. And I'm guessing for a lot of people out there, it doesn't work for them either. So to me, I suffered being overweight almost my whole life. It wasn't until my mid-30s that I really figured out what worked for me and was able to lose the weight and keep it off for 7 years. And let me tell you, it wasn't intuitive eating that got me there. As a matter of fact, I'm a firm believer that people who are chronic dieters, who binge eat, who have issues with food emotionally, that they don't do really well when somebody says to them, hey, you should just be an intuitive eater, because what are they going to do? They're just going to keep eating more and more and more and gaining weight. So a lot of times when I see these articles online where, somebody's saying, well, you should just be an intuitive eater and you're going to lose weight. Well, that's true if you're not somebody who has an emotional dependency on food. It just doesn't work. I know for me, during my own weight loss, what really helped me understand my body and what was right for me was tracking what I was eating. This was just invaluable. And it wasn't so much about the number that I was trying to hit. It wasn't about the number of calories. It was more about opening my eyes to the vast amount of food that I was eating. Like, guys, I seriously had no idea that I was eating that much food. I really didn't. I had no idea that I was eating 3,000-4,000 calories a day mindlessly on things, and it was causing me to gain weight. I had no clue. I thought that my morning Starbucks of my venti cafe mocha of 500 calories, I thought that was no big deal. But when I started putting those things into my app on my phone and tracking them every single day, I suddenly realized, holy crap, I am eating a lot of food. I had no idea. I mean, they don't teach you these things in school. It's not like you go to 11th grade, education class and they talk about nutrition education and say, hey, you should be eating 2,000 calories and this is what you should be eating and this is what a 2,000 calorie a day diet looks like. No, they don't do that. I mean, at least not when I was in school, and I'm guessing they still don't do those kinds of things because almost all of America is obese. So I'm sorry if I'm going to be kind of going against the grain here, but when it comes to calories and understanding the portions that people are eating, people are vastly overeating and they don't realize it. So when somebody says to me, well, you should just be an intuitive eater, I'm like, well, yeah, tell 67% of America that, and I'm sure they're just going to continue overeating and gaining weight, and we're going to see an increase of chronic diseases. Sorry. I mean, I'm just keeping it real here. I mean, this is really how I think. It just doesn't make sense to me how we can say people that have those type of issues can just be an intuitive eater. Now, I will say that what works for me doesn't always work for everyone. I think that there are three types of people. There are people who chronically undereat and restrict. There are people who chronically overeat because they have an emotional dependency. It's a coping mechanism with food. And then there's people who just don't really look at food as anything more than fuel. They only eat when they're hungry, the natural intuitive eaters. And those are the people that I wish I could be, because life would just be so much easier if I didn't have to think about food that way. Unfortunately, though, life did not hand me that deck of cards. And I'm sure for a lot of other people in this world, they are having the same issues. Otherwise, I wouldn't have hundreds of thousands of people following me on my Skinny Fitalicious website and asking me for weight loss advice constantly. If they could be intuitive eaters on their own and lose weight on their own, I think they probably already would have. So intuitive eating, I think, is a great concept, and I think it's an awesome thing to achieve. I honestly don't think for weight loss, though, that it is that achievable for most people. Not for everybody, for most people. I think that intuitive eating is something that can be better achieved after you've lost weight, after you've created healthy habits. It's something that you can attain much easier. So that said, obviously, I believe that calorie counting and portion control is super important for weight loss. I don't know any other way around it. Now, again, it depends on the type of person we're talking about here. Each person is different. The clients that I see and coach one-on-one, when I see them, we do an initial assessment and we figure out what works best for them. I can tell based on their behavior and the things that they're telling me how they're going to react and whether or not I should recommend that they count their calories or track their food. But I will say that almost the vast majority of people, even if they don't track their calories, just the mere act of writing down and tracking exactly what they're eating every single day is incredibly eye-opening. Just that process of seeing all these things that they're putting into their mouth, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and every time, every day, every moment in between, is very eye-opening for people. They suddenly realize all the things that they're eating mindlessly throughout the day, here and there, and all of that adds up. Unfortunately, our bodies aren't forgiving like our minds are. So we may forget that we had a couple extra Snicker bars in between lunch and dinner, but our body doesn't. And they end up storing it as fat for a rainy day. That's how our body is, biologically programmed to hold on to any additional energy that we consume above our body's daily requirement, so that in case tomorrow you don't get enough food, it has it in reserve. So it's not like your body just says, oh, you gave me extra, I'm going to poop it out tomorrow. No, it doesn't do that. It stores it in a fat cell and saves it for a rainy day. And for most of us, that rainy day never comes because everybody is overeating. And you can see this very vividly when you go to a restaurant and you see the portion sizes at most restaurants. They are ridiculous. As a matter of fact, when I go to a restaurant, I immediately ask the waiter to bring me a to-go box, and I portion half of it out into the to-go box so that I don't even eat it, because I already know it's at least 2 to 3 times more than what I need to be eating in one sitting. So that said, what I wanted to make sure that is very clear for everybody is that if you are wanting to lose weight, you do need to think about how much you're eating. Now, whether that means you track calories, whether that means you track portions, is up to you. You have to ultimately decide what is the best solution for you. But again, I personally do not believe that intuitive eating is the end-all be-all. I really think it's such an awesome concept, except 67% of America is obese because they have no idea how much they're overeating and the types of foods they're overeating. It's all contributing to this massive obesity epidemic, and it's causing chronic illness. I mean, it's just out of control. And so when people say we should just all be intuitive eaters, it's like, well, that's awesome, but I don't see how people are just going to automatically flip that switch if they are programmed to habitually overeat every single day of their life. So in order to reprogram yourself, my best advice is to watch your portion sizes, watch the type of foods that you're eating, making sure that you're tracking how much you're eating every day. You don't necessarily have to track your calories or go on a low calorie diet. You don't have to do any of that, but just tracking what you're eating, watching the portion sizes on the boxes and the bags that you are buying, and making sure you're not eating more than what is stated up there is really going to be a huge help in trying to manage your weight long term. So with that, I wanted to tell you guys that I have a new program launching on Monday called Eat to Lose Weight. And I put this program together because I wanted to share with people all the things that I learned on my weight loss journey that I wish somebody had told me like 20 years ago. I mean, I would have been able to have lost weight. I would have been able to have such better self-esteem. My life would have been so different if 20 years ago I knew the things that I know now about my body and about what I eat and about how I eat. So I put this online program together to help you guys figure it out so you don't have to struggle on your own, because everybody says, oh, I should lose weight or I should work out and I can do it on my own. But honestly, if you haven't done it already, you're probably never going to do it on your own. I mean, when is really the right moment going to happen for you? I ask yourself that. I think a lot of people say that to themselves, but it never happens. I'm sorry. You have to be honest with yourself if you want to lose weight. So I created this 8-week online program. It's a self-paced program where I share with you every one of my secrets about how to lose weight and how to eat without counting calories. Holy cow, I wish somebody would have shared that with me when I was losing weight, because it would have made my life so much easier not to have to count calories every day. Yes, in the program you still have to track what you eat every day, but I give you portion size references so that you know how much you should be eating with each meal and snack, and you know what types of food you need to be eating with each meal and snack to optimally burn fat and to help you lose weight once and for all. Build the habits that you need to maintain it long term so you're not yo-yo dieting 3-4 times a year like most people are. So again, Eat to Lose Weight, an 8-week online program. It's self-paced. You get a module released by me every single week where I share with you several videos that week, assignments, reference PDFs with example meal plans. I also give you an implementation guide that helps you build healthy habits. In addition, I'm offering an accountability group to go along with the program so that if you need extra accountability and motivation, you can call into the group and you can have like-minded people who are probably struggling with the exact same problem that you are, and you can talk about the issues and we can find solutions together. It's a great way for you to interact with other people as well as get your questions answered directly by me. Okay, so here's the thing though, guys. Program closes on Monday, January 9th. So if you want in, you have to sign up today. And for the accountability group, I'm only allowing 8 people in the group. It's a small group. So if you want in that, you have to get in as soon as possible because slots are going to go fast. Yeah, so I hope to see you there. And if you have questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I will include a link to the program in the comments. So let me know if you have any questions. You can always email me as well at megan@skinnyfitalicious.com. Bye guys.